Hello and welcome to the Imperfect Image Podcast, episode number 32. I'm still Jordan, and this is...
Sarah.
That was slow. So we're going to work on the podcasting thing, but, we're trying anyways. So I was just informed that this is the first podcast since I had a child.
Woo!
And by I had a child, I mean my wife had a child, not so much me. I did have a part in it, but it's pretty much just fun, and then 9 months of pregnancy, and then a baby.
How helpful in the delivery room would you say you were, like, percentage-wise?
I would wager somewhere between like 50% and almost nothing. I feel like I was near annoying at times, and then at one point I fell asleep, and I still wonder to this day if she's going to divorce me or not.
Because you fell asleep during...
Because I fell asleep. Well, we woke up at I think Lauren got me up at 2 in the morning or something. And I was like, hey, so my water broke. And then my life changed. And then I think we were up straight till... That was maybe 5:30, 6 p.m. or something like that. And then basically the nurses were like, there's nothing for you to do, so you might as well sit in that chair over there. And I remember looking over and going like, do you mind if I sleep for a little bit? Because you have no clue how long that night's going to be. It could be fucking 10 the next morning. So it was like, what was it, 11:36 or something like that p.m. Yeah. So I slept for a little while, but then I feel like after that, I was helpful in the idea that I was there. The doctors gave me, when she has contractions, she's going to push, and you're going to count backwards from 10. So it's like 10, 9, 8, and she's going to push the whole time. And then I thought to myself, is she not capable of counting at the same time? Do I really have a place in this?
Right.
So then I heard someone say, this is like a month later, they said, basically they get you to count so that you're not a pain in the ass. Because I guess a lot of dads just get fucking ridiculous in the delivery room.
Like, in the sense of like, push, like...
Yeah, or they're just trying to do stuff that they don't need to be doing, whatever it might be. They give you a job, so you have something to do.
This is your job. Yeah. Count to 10, but backwards. Yeah. So you kind of have to think about it.
But 10, shit, what is it now?
Oh shit, I screwed up.
Yeah, count backwards from 10 so that you don't piss us off doing something that we don't care for you to do.
You know what's funny is actually, I'm pretty sure I saw this on a Family Feud episode, and the question was, from a percentage perspective, like 0 to obviously 100%, how a part of the delivery room does a male do?
Yes.
And there's better ways of putting that.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, we'll get to our sponsor after this. Don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah. Side note. And yeah, it was like the number one answer was 0, and the whole crowd of women were just clapping.
Yeah.
Like they were like
100%.
Yes, it was so funny. But then the males guessed 25, 50, 75 because he had to really hold her leg up. And then all of the women were laughing in the background oh, so you held a leg up. Congratulations.
You held a leg up. You see that thing that came out? It came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So tell everyone, this is the welcoming to Dad World, I guess.
Sorry, are you taking over the podcast now?
Yes, Jordan, this is my question.
This is your programming?
I'm just so excited. I can't believe I'm the sit-in guest speaker on the first.
Well, I'm going to pull some things up here because I haven't... Oops, that's not the right one. I don't want to get my numbers wrong, just in case Lauren ever decides to listen to this. I want to make sure that I have the height and weight and all that stuff right. Let's see. Where are we at? Nope, that's not it. That's also not it.
So she's already disappointed in you. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm trying to find where I put this. I got no idea where I put it.
Your Chloe archives.
Yeah, I actually have a whole thing on like height, weight, time, etc. Anyway, she was something like 6 pounds 10 ounces. I think that was right. 19 and a half inches long, which to me is a weird measurement.
Yeah.
They have to stretch her out.
Right, because she's just a big ball of cuddle right now.
Yeah.
Like, you would never guess 19 inches.
No, and who cares? That's the other thing that I wonder, is who actually cares how long the baby was?
No, but, like, stretch-wise. Like, why would you stretch?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know. Doctors do things. Chloe Pauline Noble McWhorter.
Adorable.
She gets 4 names.
And she's the sweetest.
She's the sweetest.
Oh my.
She's the best when she screams at you for an hour and then pukes all over your shirt, down her shirt so that you have to change all of the clothes, and then after that screams more. It's amazing.
Oh, come on.
Parenting's glamorous.
Is it everything that you thought it was going to be?
No. Because I thought, in some ways I thought it would be a ton harder, and in some ways I thought it would be a ton, I don't know if easier is the right way. I definitely set myself up knowing that it was going to be a challenge. That you're not going to sleep that much, you know, they're going to be a pain, they're just going to scream for no frickin' reason. I knew that stuff was coming. What I didn't know is that life really doesn't change at all. It's like if you're friends with someone and then you're thinking like, oh, if I start dating him, life's going to change. And then it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then you know this yet, I don't assume, but I don't know your full history. If you're like, oh, well, maybe we want to get married, then you get engaged and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to call them my fiance. And then that's literally the only change.
Yeah, see, in my mind, I was thinking like if you go through a serious breakup and you literally are consumed in this world of like, oh my God, but then it almost shocks you because you're like going to somewhere normal, like a grocery store or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, the world's still turning. Yeah. No one else really cares. Like my life didn't just turn upside down. Like,
no. It all really stays the same. So I was thinking like, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do this. You know, we're never going to be able to do this again. And then all of a sudden you realize that you pretty much do everything you used to do, as well as, I wouldn't say, I don't know, maybe we do more. Like we've done more socializing. People want to see her. Yeah. So we're out at dinners and we're out with friends and that sort of thing. We have lots of hosting. Yeah. So we probably do more than what we did previously. Because previously, come home, watch TV. That's the night. Now it's like, come home and then there's just more things to do. So you're just engaged all the time. Which is also very tiring, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're doing more things because you're awake more of the day. Because every 3 hours, you're gonna...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate. Because I've had a lot of people ask me that. They're like, oh, are you sleep deprived? I'm like, yeah, you know, I wake up a fair amount, but I've got this weird wife. I did this thing where somehow I married the woman that also looks out for me, which is strange. I didn't think that would happen in my life. So she insists that I sleep in the spare room during the week so that I can sleep, so that I can function at work.
Wow.
Like she does not want me in the bedroom. And we've
cue the applause.
Yeah, I know. If we had sound effects, I'd put it on.
Well, yeah.
Not there yet. 32 episodes in, no sound effects.
At least unless it was noted.
Unless it's a solid foin foin foin. That will come up here and there.
Or a bulldog noise in the back if you can't hear it already.
If you can't hear it, there is a bulldog in the room, in the studio. Daisy is in the studio, loud and proud.
She might start snoring here, actually, and then you'll really get a sense of bulldogness.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Could you start snoring, kiddo?
Speaking of sound effects, my glass is empty.
So, Sarah.
Yeah.
On an aside from how amazing my wife is.
Right.
What is this episode brought to us by?
That is an aside. This episode is brought to you by Palm Bay Ruby Grapefruit.
Wow.
Mixed with
Rolling Rock.
Oh, guys, listen, if you've never had...
Oh my God. Oh.
If you've never had a palm beer, as I like to call it, you are in for a treat. Grab something light, something cheap preferably, because Palm Bays aren't like the cheapest. I mean, it's a cooler. But you literally, the concoction consists of half and half.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do AGD, because like we're in Alberta, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could do Bush. Bush is one of my favorites because it's kind of just watered down beer.
How much would a 6-pack of Bush be?
A 6-pack, like under $10.
Okay, I was just about to get mad at you because you didn't know the price of a beer. So a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon at almost every store I've been to is $12.99.
What?
That's not too bad.
No.
The greatest thing about Pabst is that you can get like the tall boys, which is 2 full pints for $4.99.
That is pretty darn good.
It is that's a bargain.
Now, my issue with Pabst is that if I went to any high school kegger, any college kegger, that was the beer in the keg. And it just reminds me of $10 covers with these like just not good. Super foamy, pretty warm.
See, I've heard of these things. However, I didn't drink back then, so I have no idea what you're talking about. I've only known that from movies.
No, I can't drink Pabst anymore.
Anywho, I'm enjoying my Pabst lately because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Financial point from Jordan. When you have a child, if you decide that you want to continue to drink alcohol in any way, I highly suggest Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's cheap, it's drinkable, you can get your little bit of buzz on, feel good for the night, relax after work, that sort of thing. Doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, unlike the craft beers I was drinking before.
Craft beers are phenomenal, but totally, like, especially if you're on any kind of budget or just financially conscious, it's like, why would you spend that much when you're just sitting at home and you're in control? Like, listen, if I'm going to spend over $5 on a beer, I would like it served to me.
That's
right. Like,
I want it served, and I want them to look good.
I want it cold. I want it in a cool glass that I don't have at home. You know.
You want a tip with that beer? Shake that ass. That's my tip.
Oh well.
Yeah, I went there.
There's those kind of bars, but yeah.
Hey, pull up your G-string. That's disgusting.
Oh, gross. No, like when it comes to cheap beer, I feel like we have a really good variety. Like,
it's not too bad.
This is the opposite of a complaint. I'm like really interested. There's Lucky, there's Old Milwaukee, Bush, AGD. James Reddy was back in Ontario.
I don't know that one. You know what's really
Pabst,
good?
Obviously.
Some of like the local, I guess, stores, like Co-op, does their own cheap beers.
They do?
Not bad.
That's genius.
The Superstore beers, they have a red that's actually pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because those like super common cheap beers have been around forever.
Yeah.
Like, that is a business. If you get into that, pick up on an island somewhere, like, you're good, because cheap beers are easy to come by, but if they're your go-to, you're going to them every time. Like, unless it's like a crazy party or something and you're like, oh, I'm going to...
Here's a drinking game. You sit outside of a liquor store. I guess you're drinking outside of the liquor store in this scenario.
Okay.
But you watch people go in after work, and you pick out what they're going to buy. And you can be vague enough. Vodka, beer, that sort of thing.
So you're just looking at them and judging them.
100%.
Per stereotype.
It's like the airport game where you sit around and try to figure out what the hell people do for a living. You're like, that guy's an accountant. Why? I don't know. He's wearing glasses.
That's the best
It's
game.
a lot of fun.
People watching, that's the best.
But I guarantee I could pick out the guys who are going to go in and buy somewhere between a 6-pack and a 24-pack of cheap beer almost every day after work. Based off clothing, the truck they pull up in, because it's a truck, we know that.
Yeah.
Maybe a rusty minivan.
Oh.
There's a lot of workers who drive rusty minivans.
Right.
I could pick those guys out, and I could get someone else shit-faced off that game.
Listen, I bet you could. Now, by clothes, do you mean shoes? Because I find that I can judge people more on their shoes than maybe on their clothes.
You know what, Sarah? I did not mean that. However, this might be your upper hand in the game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say I'm a great people watcher, but my thing is, I literally want to ask them where they're going, what their plans are. Like, I want to know the super general life story. I don't want to talk about the weather. I don't care how your day was.
No.
But, like, give me tidbits that are really interesting and highlights and lowlights.
Yes.
And just super summarize in 2 minutes or less.
So you're looking to do the creepy 2 minutes. That's what you're looking for. Because that's a little creepy. Sir, I'm not interested in certain things, but I would like to know what you had for lunch.
The creepy 2 minutes?
I feel like that's the creepy 2 minutes. You're really trying to get into a stranger's life for some reason.
Yeah, but it's all a part of people watching. Like, if you could sit on a train and do that, like, would that not be the best? Like, if you're traveling and you're, like, in New York City on the subway, and you just look around and you're, like, trying to imagine what their backstory is, where they're going, where they came from, where they grew up, where they're from, what are they doing, like, who's their best friend, like, tell me all the nitty-gritty, but real quick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You said imagine. That's where I'm at. You're talking about actually asking them all those things.
Totally. Or no, just,
got, like,
just tell me.
20-question questionnaire.
Like,
here's my phone. Read the questions.
Yeah.
Answer the questions. What size shoes do you wear?
yeah.
Tighties or boxers?
Well, sure.
Anywho, I had some questions, just to bring it back to somewhat the theme of the podcast.
Oh, God. And I know none of them, so these are going to be
great.
real off of a whim.
Let's go fairly quickly through these ones.
Oh, God.
Off the top of your head,
Okay.
have you seen any movies lately?
No.
What music are you currently listening to?
CDs. Like old CDs.
For anyone out there who maybe was born like 2000 and sooner, CDs are called compact discs.
Oh my
They
God.
look like mini records that are shiny on one side.
Well, no, beginning of May, we're diving into trailer season.
Yep.
Yeah, and for the past 5 weekends now, I've gone to the trailer to start setting up and start getting everything ready and whatever.
My hand is up. I know I'm bad podcasting, but my hand is up for a question.
Yep.
Last question. What are your summer plans? And now continue on with what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, summer plans for sure, trailer. As much trailer as possible. But the reason why I'm listening to old CDs is because the drive out there, you have super shitty service. And then you get out there and you have even worse service, which is a total blessing because my phone stays in the car. I don't touch it.
It is nice.
It's awesome. But because we don't have satellite radio or anything, we're forced to like dig up our old CDs. Like I'm talking Will Smith, Shania Twain, NSYNC, Christina Aguilera.
If you were sitting around the fire, would you be getting jiggy with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dog is rubbing her vagina on my carpet.
Well, I mean, there's not much I can control with that. It's kind of like people on the train, you know? You do you, and I'll just sit over here.
Tell me, Daisy, why are you doing that? Tell me the history of this. Yeah, I get it. Have you delved into the bag of CDs that I've left there?
Yes, and actually, I came across My Chemical Romance.
See?
I gasped. I was so excited. Mm-hmm. I opened it up to find out it's not in there.
Really?
I'm so mad. I'm mad at you. I forgot about that. We have to talk after. I'm so mad.
Here's what I'm doing.
That was a tease and a half.
I'm opening Google Play Music because Google runs everything, and I'm downloading My Chemical. That's not how you spell chemical. Chemical Romance And I'm going to go down to, what was that one? That was the one with the black label on it.
Yeah.
3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Yeah.
And I'm clicking
Sounds
the
right.
download button so that
Yes.
next time we're out there, we can listen to that.
Oh, thank God.
First song, Helena. Thank you.
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic song.
Oh my God. See, it's been so long that CDs are so fantastic. And what's funny is, so I'm from Ontario, so I called my mom who's back in Ontario, and I was like, Mom, what did you do with all my CDs? And she's like, oh, well, I think I'm selling them, like, in my antique booth. And I was like, what? Pull them out of there. And she was like, when previously have you ever asked for those damn CDs? And I'm like, listen, we got to bring them back. And so now I'm literally at the point where we're shopping for CDs on Amazon. Like, who would have thought in 2019, when you've got countless amounts of music that are basically free to you, that I'm like all about CDs, but they're my life right now, and I love them. I actually just found, I think it's the Now. Do you remember those?
Now 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5. I believe I had 3 through 5.
Yes. Well, there's like
2
3
through
through
5.
47.
Oh,
or
for
something.
fuck's
It's
sakes, I
crazy.
can't imagine. I don't even want to see what's on those now. I wonder if Big Shiny Tunes is still a thing.
Honestly,
Let's
so
check it out.
good. They're so good.
Big Shiny.
In the special
Tunes.
box of CDs that my mom recently sent me in the mail, she had in there Dance Mix 2002. Oh, it's good.
Dance Mix 2002.
Yes. Like,
I
we're talking
don't know-
like reggae, like Destiny's Child.
Yeah. I don't
Gwen
know if I would have
Stefani.
known that one. I'm wondering what dance mix I would have had. I'll tell you what I had. Dance Mix 95. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that must have
And
been a
well,
great one.
While I'm Googling this, I am also Googling Dance Mix 95. Son of a bitch, how am I doing this?
See, there's something so nostalgic about
Dance.
about
Oh, man.
those CDs. Like, they can't just go
Yep.
extinct. Like,
Dance
if you
Mix
see
95.
one, oh, and you know what I'm dying for?
Nope.
Do you know those big bins at Walmart, and they're like $5 DVDs? I need to find a CD one.
Oh, yeah.
Take my paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna stock right up.
Dance Mix 95. Saturday night. You know that one?
Saturday night,
Thank
I feel
you.
the air is getting hot.
Let me go down here. There were some good things in
That's
here.
good.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Night. Move It to the Rhythm. The Macarena.
What? See, we
Good
need this one.
Christ. Okay, how do I,
If there's any podcast fans out there, the address is... I'm just kidding.
Dance Mix. Can I get this on here?
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
Dance Mix. Come on. Be good to
Did-
me.
Because you're like an Albertan and I'm an Ontarian, so
As
I'm
far as I
wanting
know.
to know if you ever watched. It was called Electric Circus, and it was basically MTV's like studio
Yeah.
at night
I know
on
what you
Friday
mean.
and Saturday night, and
I know
they
what you
turned
mean.
it into like
So
a club.
I
Oh my
would have
God, it was
watched
fantastic.
I would have watched a bit of that, but then at the same time my real foray into music and where I started to actually give a rat's ass about music was on Much Music. They had the Punk Show. And the Punk
Yeah.
Show is where I first would have seen The Used,
Yeah.
Taste of Ink, as well as Alexis on Fire, Pulmonary Archery. And then that was like, that's it. I don't give a fuck shit about anything else.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
It just pulled
so
you
be
in.
it past that. And then actually, after that, I would have met Ashley, the normal co-host.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's music from there.
Totally.
Speaking of that generation, I'm not 100% sure, and while I have my phone in front of me and I'm doing this, I don't know how long I can draw this out. Maybe I can draw it out for a while. You need to talk about something.
I'm really just sitting here wondering whether you guys can hear the bulldog breathing in the background. Oh, she's licking my foot.
Is it possible?
When's the next time you're coming to the trailer, by the way?
The long weekend, August long. Jesus Christ!
Holy shit, that's a long time away.
Not August long.
May 2-4.
May long.
Do you guys ever call it May 2-4? Or is it just like it's Victoria
good Lord.
Day?
No, it's Victoria Day. It's May long.
See, in Ontario, it's May 2-4, and I never really understood why until my friends were like, because you get a big 2-4 a beer and you go
seriously?
somewhere,
Nope,
whether
didn't
it's
know
like
that.
friend's backyard, like doesn't matter where it is, but you grab the 2-4 and that's what you're getting. Because it never made sense to me because it was only one in every 7 years or whatever where May 2-4 landed on May 24th. So I was always like, I don't get like the weekend is the 18th, not the 24th. So I don't understand, you know.
Funny that you just said that because son of a bitch. I never put that together either. May 2-4.
Yeah.
It's not always May long weekend.
No.
Because I've heard that a million times. I've heard that at least 24 times.
Grab a 2-4 beer.
Son of a bitch.
Grab a flat of beer and head somewhere fun.
So what I was going to ask you earlier, and it doesn't work out now, sorry about that. Silverstein just came to Calgary in January.
I was like, no, they didn't.
We missed it.
No, it was, who was just here? And you went and
Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, so let's dive into that. What happened there?
No. We have to go back to Silverstein because Silverstein, My Heroine, was the best song ever. Silverstein was my jam.
Yep.
I fucking love Silverstein.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I saw them in Brantford, Ontario. I saw them in Brampton. I saw them in Toronto, and then I saw them in New York City and Manhattan, and they played at
son of a bitch.
They played at the, oh my god, it's
Carnegie Hall.
No, it's a camera company. It starts with an N.
Nixon. Nikon. The Nikon,
like amphitheater or something.
Mm-hmm.
And now like we're talking. I was 16, so that was 15 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
And so, anyways, if my memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure the Cancer Bats opened for them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then Silverstein played, and me and my sister were general admission with my dad. My mom was in the very back knitting. I'm not lying to you.
That's
she was
amazing.
knitting with earplugs in. And I look over, and my dad is crowd surfing. My dad is crowd surfing during Silverstein. I'll never forget it. And me and my sister were such big fans. But I was 16, and she was 13, and it was like our dad just ruined our life.
Lord.
Like it was the most embarrassing thing ever then. And I look back,
now,
and I'm like, my dad is sick. Like,
that is the sweetest thing that a parent has ever done.
But I'm telling you, small theaters like that, the sound, like it was one of the best concerts ever.
Yeah, Taking Back Sunday was phenomenal as well. Mac Hall's like 2,500 people, so it's not small, but it's not huge, but it's still pretty damn good.
And just the acoustics of it, right?
Yeah, they're just good.
Yeah.
So there was beer gardens in the back half, and then general admission front half.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say general admission. You could go to either, but like it's all 18 plus, but there's beer gardens in the back. But we were 20 feet from the stage, just off to the side.
Amazing.
Because there were so many people in the beer gardens that there was a ton of room to be close. Yeah. The problem was, I couldn't hear properly for 2 days after that because it was so close.
Yeah.
And I started to actually get that feeling of like, I might be too old for this. I may be too old to stand that close to the stage.
That is such a rude feeling.
It wasn't great.
I didn't invite you here.
Yeah.
Like that, like sense of, and it's all in your head. But you just, it's not that it's an excuse. Your mind just goes to that assumption or that result, and you're just like, yep, it must be.
Well, and that may have happened every time I've ever been to a concert, but I don't think I've ever had anything like work that actually matters and I'm trying to help people's lives to really think I can't hear this person properly, because previously it would have been like, fuck university, who gives a shit? Whatever. I can't hear the prof and I don't give a shit anyways.
It's almost better.
Yeah. Screw you, I'm not learning this in the first place. Okay,
Totally.
we're gonna have to wrap this up because baby's screaming and dogs have to eat and life is taking over. Thank you for co-hosting.
Literally, the baby just screamed as you paused. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it was like Chloe's downstairs, like, Dad.
She needs something, and I may or may not be able to help.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for listening. Who knows who might be here next time?
Yeah.
Maybe no one. Maybe Sarah. Maybe Jesus.
Okay.
You know?
Maybe the bulldog again.
Maybe the bulldog. Maybe I will have to clean my carpets.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
All right. Talk to you next time. Bye.